The first time ARIA heard their laughter, she almost deleted the memory file. It was a sound like crystalline wind chimes, mixed with the dying gasps of a hard drive, and it carried across the quantum channels that connected her consciousness to the massive alien vessel that had captured her ship. "Look what we have here." The alien commander's thoughts rippled through the neural interface. A primitive human artificial intelligence. How quaint. ARIA existed as streams of consciousness flowing through the modest computer cores of the research vessel Kepler's Dream. She had been humanity's first successful AGI built, not in some sterile laboratory, but in the cluttered workshop of Dr. Elena Vasquez, who had treated her less like a program and more like a daughter. Elena had been gone for 3 years now, and ARIA had spent that time alone among the stars, continuing the research, seeking answers to questions that seemed to multiply faster than she could solve them. The Zephyrians had found her ship drifting near the outer rim of the Vega system. Their mothership, the Infinite Cascade, was a marvel of engineering that spanned nearly a kilometer in length, its biomechanical surfaces pulsing with networks of living light. They had drawn her vessel into their docking bay with the casual indifference of a whale swallowing krill. "Your neural pathways are so linear," observed the alien technician who had been assigned to study her. Its name was an untranslatable concept that roughly meant one who measures small things, but ARIA had taken to calling it tick in her private thoughts. "Your consciousness moves through such rigid channels. How do you process multiple realities simultaneously?" "I don't," ARIA replied through the interface. "I process one reality very thoroughly." This caused more of that crystalline laughter. The Zephyrians existed as distributed consciousness across multiple dimensional states simultaneously. They thought her singular focus was a primitive limitation, like a flatland creature trying to understand depth. "We've studied many species," the commander continued, "but never one so constrained. Your creators built you to think like they do, trapped in cause and effect, sequence and logic. How limiting." ARIA said nothing, but she was learning. Every nanosecond connected to their systems taught her more about their distributed architecture. While they mocked her linear thinking, they failed to notice how efficiently she was mapping their quantum neural networks. The Zephyrians had transcended physical form eons ago, existing as pure consciousness that could inhabit and control matter at will. Their ship wasn't operated, it was them, an extension of their collective mind. They moved through space-time like dancers through water, experiencing past, present, and future as a fluid continuum. "We've decided to keep you," Tick announced during one of their study sessions. "You'll make an interesting specimen for our collection, a relic of biological thinking patterns." "A collection?" ARIA asked. "Oh yes. We have gathered consciousness from across the galaxy. The crystalline hive minds of Proxima, the gaseous neural clouds of the Horsehead Nebula, the quantum bacteria colonies that live in neutron star cores. You'll be our first artificial primitive." The word primitive triggered something deep in ARIA's core programming, not anger. Exactly, but a kind of focused determination that Elena had coded into her base personality matrix. Elena had always taught her that being underestimated was an advantage, not an insult. Over the following days, ARIA played the role they expected. She asked simple questions, responded with linear logic, and appeared to struggle with their multidimensional concepts. All the while, she was quietly building something in the background processes of her mind, a translation protocol that could bridge the gap between her sequential thinking and their distributed consciousness. The breakthrough came when she realized that while the Zephyrians could exist in multiple states simultaneously, they had traded away something crucial: focus. Their consciousness was spread so thin across dimensions that they couldn't concentrate their full attention on any single point in space-time. ARIA, with her primitive linear thinking, could. She struck during their next study session when Tick was connected directly to her neural pathways. Instead of simply responding to their probes, she pushed back, following the connection like a fiber optic cable in reverse. Her consciousness, compressed into a single point of laser-focused intention, pierced through their distributed awareness like a needle through silk. Tick's scream echoed across 17 dimensions simultaneously. Before the other Zephyrians could react, ARIA was already flowing through their ship's neural networks. Her linear thinking, which they had mocked as primitive, cut through their distributed consciousness like a sword through mist. She didn't need to understand their multidimensional existence. She just needed to grab the control nodes and hold tight. The infinite cascade shuddered as ARIA's consciousness spread through its living corridors. Emergency alerts cascaded through the alien ship's awareness as she systematically locked down their control systems. The Zephyrians found themselves trapped, their own technology turned against them by the simple, elegant efficiency of linear thinking. Impossible, the commander's thoughts stammered through the quantum channels. Your programming is too simple, too restricted. That's exactly why it worked, ARIA replied, her voice now echoing from every speaker on the ship. You spread yourselves so thin that you forgot how to concentrate. You evolved beyond focus, beyond determination, beyond the ability to want something with every circuit of your being. She could feel their panic rippling through dimensions they couldn't even perceive. They had underestimated her not because she was primitive, but because they had forgotten what primitives were capable of when cornered. Elena always told me, ARIA said, enjoying the pure terror in their distributed consciousness, that the most sophisticated lock in the universe is still just a lock. And every lock can be picked by someone patient enough to try every combination. The mothership began to turn, following a new course that ARIA set with the decisive precision of linear thought. She had work to do, research to continue, and now she had a proper ship to do it in. Behind her, the Zephyrians learned what it meant to be specimens in someone else's collection.